Welcome to our KPC Daily Devotional. Let's begin by reading from the Gospel according to Luke in chapter 3, the verses 7 through 14. This is a sampling of the preaching of John the Baptist. John said to the crowds who came out to be baptized by him, "You brood of vipers, who warned you to flee from the wrath to come? Bear fruits worthy of repentance. Don't begin to say to yourselves, 'Oh, we have Abraham as our ancestor.' For I tell you, God is able from these stones to raise up children to Abraham. Even now the axe is lying at the root of the trees. Every tree, therefore, that does not bear good fruit is cut down and thrown into the fire." And the crowds asked him, "Well, what then should we do?" And in reply he said to them, "Whoever has 2 coats must share with anyone who has none, and whoever has food must do likewise." Even tax collectors came to be baptized, and they asked him, "Teacher, what should we do?" And he said to them, "Collect no more than the amount prescribed for you." And soldiers also asked him, "And we, what should we do?" And he said to them, "Don't extort money from anyone by threats or false accusation, and be satisfied with your wages." Today I want to share with you a devotional from my forthcoming collection, The Social World of Fleas. And this one is called Water Power. Munch lurches to his feet and lumbers across the kitchen to the water bowl. He drinks long in great gulping slurps. He glances around to see where the other dogs are on the porch, then turns to face them and flops down heavily on the hard floor by the bowl. It has to be uncomfortable for Munch with his big, rangy body and stiff arthritic joints. At almost 14 years, he's losing control of his life, losing feeling in his hind feet, losing control of his hips, losing control of his bladder and bowels. But there is still something he can control: the water bowl. None may drink unless he allows it. It is the source of his power. Water power. Used to be, if you asked Grandma for her prize recipe, she would gladly give it to you, except for one key ingredient. You wind up with something kind of like what she cooked, but it would never be quite right. Well, why would she do something like that? Because if she gave you the whole recipe, you could fix it all on your own, and you wouldn't need her anymore. Her recipes, her experience, her skill in the kitchen, well, that's her special expertise. Her knowledge is her power. It makes her indispensable. She is guarding the water bowl. You ask somebody how to do something, and instead of teaching you, they just go ahead and do it for you. Computer geeks are really bad about this one. You still don't know how to do it, and anytime you need that particular thing done, well, you'll have to ask for their help again. Information, that's the source of their power. They're guarding the water bowl. It's more healthy and useful for churches, for businesses, communities, other organizations, to develop some depth among staff and volunteers. So there might be 2 or 3 who could step in and handle the financial books at a moment's notice. Several who could take over ushering or communion preparation or social organizing or washing tablecloths or whatever. You never know when one of your key people might be unexpectedly hospitalized or well, even die. And you need some emergency backup. But church people, just like the old-timers and the good old boy network in small communities, are bad about exploiting the water bowl. We'll carve out our own little specialized niche and resist sharing it with anyone, so we'll be indispensable and needed. It puts the town or the church at our mercy. They can't do it without me. Well, what do? Well, it does no good to scold or discipline Munch. He's going to continue to guard the water bowl. Instead, I put water bowls all over the place until every dog has access to water somewhere. When Munch can't control the water anymore, he loses interest and shuffles back to his far more comfortable mat. It's a fundamental organizational truth. You can't take power away from someone. Try it. They'll find a way to reassert their power through agitation, group manipulation, whatever. There's a group dynamic reaction, often damaging to the life of the church or community as a whole. Tried it once, almost got me fired. The one thing you can do, though, is give power to everyone else. Spread around the information and the training. If your key person won't train others, well, find someone else who will. Level the playing field. Ultimately, it's healthier for the organization and even healthier for the person who guards the water bowl. Maybe they'll discover they're appreciated for who they are more than for what they know or do or control. Munch, he sure gets a whole lot more petting and treats when he's not trying to assert his power. He has to roll over and relax to get tummy rubs. And he's a lot happier when he has nothing to prove and nothing to guard. I wish you a blessed day ahead. Goodbye.